Hi everybody! I hope you're all having a good day. I hope you're all smiling and enjoying your lovely day. In this following tutorial, I'm going to be showing you on how to rig OVRLipSync Blendshapes to your 3D model so that way you can be able to have full control over your lip sync for OVRLipSync related stuff, whether it's VRChat or VTubing purposes or any other purposes when you're using the OVRLipSync SDK. So I will leave in the description below, by the way, some study material. So if you are brand new to making Shapekeys in Blender, I made a beginner tutorial on like the tricks for making Shapekeys in Blender, but we're going to be using proportional editing as that primary method to make the Shapekeys or Viseams. And then also there is also, in case anyone who doesn't know how to import, let's say if you're a VTuber, a VRM model into Blender, I made a tutorial on how to do that. And then also, if you need a study model to know if you prefer to like have a model to reference off of, or even face swap, I don't care. There is my Test Chan and Test Kun, which are heavily modified, or I wouldn't say too crazy heavy modified. They just have like special blend shapes you can study from, so please use those models and study with them. And then I'll leave in the description this website on the Viseams for OVRLipSync, and it'll have the image references here and such. But you should be able to, watch this video, and I'll show you in real time rigging these, Viseams. Now, if you're way too new to 3D, like you're new to Blender too much, you don't know the hotkeys or anything, I recommend please check out a different tutorial, get used to Blender first, understand the controls before approaching this one, because I'm going to be assuming that you already have some experience with Blender already. With that being said though, you have to make sure you have a Blender, we're going to be doing this in Blender, so any model's fine, whether you're a dog, a human, a cat, or a balloon VTuber. I don't care what you are, as long as you have, some topology with a mouse. That's all that matters for this tutorial. We won't be going over the 2D method on how to do the overall lip sync for 2D, but I will leave in the description a tutorial that I have watched and I do approve of that does explain how to do the 2D Viseams for those who have PNG lips and want to use OVRLipSync. I will leave that tutorial in the description below. You can check out. It's made by someone else, so check it out. But either way, you should have your model open up in Blender, and I'll be showing you step by step on rigging these shape keys, which I have a habit of saying blend shapes. I could just call them blend shapes, but otherwise I'm gonna try using the word shape keys because that's Blender's official term for this. So I do apologize for using shape keys if you prefer blend shapes. Either way, make sure you have your model here and make sure that you select on the body or the face mesh. Anything where you want to start rigging for the OVRLipSync. Now, you could also, I'll say as a heads up, I am aware about the method on using Cat's Blender to auto-generate OVRLipSync. The thing with Cats is that it only does it based off of your pre-existing vowel keys. It's still nice if you want something quick for VRChat use or anything like that, but I usually prefer to just hand make it myself. But again, your preference. Do note that if you're using Cats, you have to use any version under 3.6 just so it can work. Otherwise, I'm using 4.1. Cats can't work, so I will be making this from scratch. So either way, we're gonna go ahead and go into the data tab, which is the green triangle here, and we're gonna go over and press on the plus button right here to add a shape key. You should be able to see the Teto cursor here, so it should hopefully guide you a little better. So press on the plus multiple times, and then we're going to go ahead, based on what the website shows us, we're going to input these Viseam names. And you can name it however you want, even if you're a VRChat user, as long as you have it so that way you know what the shape key is supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Sill. So I'm going to put in capital, just choice. So I'm going to put in Sill. Then I'm going to type in P. Then I'm going to type in F. Then the. then D, then K, then Ch, and then D, and then S, and then N, and then A, I, U, E, O, and then let me double check if I am missing anything. So I put those. I think I forgot K. So no, K is there. And then that does there. There is double A. So there's and then actually no. No, OVRLipSync has it as double A's, but mostly we tend to use just one A, really. Again, for VRChat, you should be able to register, even if you just call it just A, like this. You should still be able to register just this one. Or you can just call it if you prefer. Again, as long as you know that this is supposed to be an A, the letter A in the alphabet, perfectly fine. Okay, so we should be able to have our Shapekeys all good once you've done that. So, woohoo! Now what we're going to do is we're going to start making these from scratch. Again, apply your knowledge as we go through this. Alright, so to start off, Sil or otherwise Silence, usually it's just like the VRM neutral blend shape where you just don't touch it. So we're not going to touch this shape key. Instead, we're going to go to P, and we're going to go ahead, and again, I'm going to quickly go over like how to quickly make some shape keys just in case you may want a refresher, but we're gonna go into edit mode. So make sure that your face mesh or your bi mesh is selected, the one that has the face. Press on the tab key on your keyboard, and as for reference, here is the little mouse panel here in case you get lost on what I'm pressing on my keyboard. So pretty much here you should be able to see the vertices and wireframe of your character, or the mouth mainly. So just to give you a quick refresher on how to make shape keys from scratch, or if you already know, you can skip ahead a little bit. But pretty much, we're going to go ahead and select one vertex here on the bottom lip. And what we're going to do is make sure that we're going to press on the proportional edit up here. Otherwise, you can press on the O key, O for octopus, and pretty much you should be able to toggle between proportional being on or off, and you can see up here if it's on or off. Make sure that here, when you click on this little curve setting here, make sure to do connected only, like so. And then you should be able to utilize proportional edit to easily open the mouse very quickly, like this. So this is great to kind of like, you know, make some quick shapes really quickly, so it gives you more added convenience. And if your model happens to be mirrored by any chance, it can add more convenience, or if the model's not mirrored at all, then you're gonna struggle a bit. So for the newer Void models, it should work with mirror a little bit, so you should be alright. But some models, again, especially Kit Bash, may not work too well. So you can test out by mirror mode here, so you can see if you can mirror the mouse or not. You can see how, like, for example, here kind of freaks out a bit. So just keep that in mind depending on your model. But either way, I just want to make sure that it's said. We're going to be primarily using this technique in order to pose the mouse and all that. You could also use sculpting, the sculpt mode if you want, but again, we're gonna do proportional edit, and if we have to, I'll show you the sculpt mode. So here with P, we're gonna go ahead and do Control-3, and we're gonna go ahead to the side profile of the mouse. Press the Z button and then wireframe, and then select the vertices like at the bottom lip here. You don't have to select the entire one really. It depends on like how big your mouse is or how you want it to be, but we're gonna simply make sure that proportional edit is activated, and we're gonna press the R button to rotate, and then use the scroll wheel to make the proportional influence big or small. Then we can use the S key to scale down the lip a bit more, because for P, we need it so that way the mouse goes inward to the mouse. Kind of like, you know, when you're saying popcorn, where your lips just go inward for a quick second. That's pretty much what we're doing. And then we'll also make sure that, I'm going to do Control-3 again, Z, wireframe, And then do the same thing for the upper mouth, where I'm gonna have it also like doing the top part as well, so to emulate P. And then I'll use Z, go to Material Preview, and then take a look at the shape keys by toggling Tab, so I'm back to Object Mode, or again, you can toggle between Edit Mode and Object Mode top left here, especially for beginners, or it's just a preference really. I use Tab because it's just quicker, but again, to whichever you like. So pretty much, you can be able to preview on shape keys, so P. You can slide the value here to kind of like see like like from neutral to active, to see if maybe you want to like tweak it a bit more, add more emphasis or anything like that. So, whichever you like really. So I'll just adjust it a bit more. You can also use the G key to adjust your blend shape if you like for extra control. But Tab key, I'm gonna go ahead and move that a bit down. And you can have something like this. Again, just really depends on, you don't have to do every exact step I'm doing. I'm just kind of like just showing you what you can do. Or, so, and also by the way, you can do Control Z, undo, should be obvious. But either way, you should be able to at least start with making your first shape key. Congratulations. So this one is how P should look like. And then we're gonna make the next one, which is F. So this one here, we're gonna look at the website. So F has it where the teeth are kind of like, so when I say F, it's like kind of like, you can think of it like the lower lip is underneath the top teeth kinda, so F. So let's go ahead and try and emulate that. So we're gonna select on F, go back to edit mode with the Tab key, Control 3, and we're gonna try and make it so that way you don't, again, it really just depends on the mouse, because sometimes you may want to do it differently. It's just out of preference, but I'm gonna try and edit the mouse here so that way it kind of makes it so like the lower lip is kind of going inward, but then this top lip goes, so select those vertices here, make it a bit higher to kind of have like that F, like that. And then if you want, it depends on like your mouse placement, but you could also adjust the inner mouse a bit so that way like you can actually have it emulate a little bit of like a teeth bite if you want. Sometimes Roy mouse, I know I modified this mouse to work with ARKit, so that's why it looks a bit more fricked up, but I'm just like showing, for instance, you can do some adjustment if you want to kind of like just have that lip bite or this going on pretty much. So I could do F. You can see the transition where pretty much the teeth is biting on the lower lip. So you could do something like that. But again, just keep in mind, keep into consideration the transition of the other shape keys. So just be very mindful of that. But you can do something like this, for example. So F. And that's pretty much how that shape key should look like. So there you go. Good job. Now there is the. So when you're saying think or something like that, think, or the, think, that. So that one should have it where the. I'm thinking of my tongue being in between my top and lower teeth. So Control 3. We're going to go into edit mode here. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make the mouth open a bit more. So we want it where the mouth opens. So again, I'm pretty much keeping proportional edit on the entire time. I'm not even toggling it off. I'm just making sure like I'm wise with it by using the scroll wheel to adjust my influence. So we want we might want to make the lips frown a bit more. So I'll select the corners here, make it bend a bit downward. I'm gonna make it so I'll press the L key to select linked vertices here. And let's go ahead, Control 3, wireframe, and adjust that. So I want it where pretty much when my teeth are a little bit like, kind of like a little open, like my mouth is a little open, but the tongue is in between the teeth. So that way the because like when I say my tongue is pretty much on like the top part of my teeth. So I'm using the C key as a circle for me to select. Again, like I said, if you don't know how I'm using like these these tools, or these like how I'm like using these multiple like options here, like the C key, the S key, and all that, again, the tutorial in the description below pretty much explains in much slower detail on how I do my shape key creation or blend shape creation. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that smaller. So the. So something like this could be nice. So you can see like the teeth are in between the teeth. So and then your mouth is like frowning, so it can give like a nice sort of smooth look to when you talk. But that's something you can do for the. So far we have p. We have also for p, I can also make it where the mouth kind of goes like slightly inward with scaling, and then slightly frown down to just make it a little bit more dynamic. There you go. So you could do that, p, then f, then the. Alright? And then duh. So duh. My tongue is not exactly like in between my teeth, so the is when my tongue is like actually in between my teeth. So duh is when like my tongue is like closer to my teeth, but it's not in between from how I'm pronouncing it. Again, you can do it however you like. But they have it where like the teeth is more visible, like duh. But let's go ahead and try for duh. So Control D, 3, whoops. Anyways, Z, I'm gonna go ahead and open the mouth a bit more. Like so. Whoops, don't do that. Alright, adjust it. Go with solid view, 1. Change the size, so we want it to be duh. Like so. We may want to make it frown a bit more by selecting those sides. Make it frown. Again, power of proportional editing. Select the bottom teeth with L key, and then the tongue here. And I'm gonna make it so it's like open a little bit to do duh. Just a little bit. And like you can kind of see like the tongue is like moving upward, but it's not in between the teeth though. It's like behind it. Duh. It's like at the, like, it's like behind, you can have it where it's like, hold on, duh. Yeah, so my teeth are slightly open, but my tongue, the way, like, I feel it, it's like, how I pronounce it is that my tongue is, like, on the top part of the teeth here. So, like this. This is how I can best describe how I say it. Like that. Something like that. But yeah, you could do that. The teeth are slightly there. But yeah, but that's something you can do as well. Like that. And then for k. So when you're saying call or cake, I like chocolate cake. It's kind of similar. So cake is where like my tongue doesn't move at all. For duh, my tongue does move, but for k, the tongue does not move. So cake, it's pretty much like it'll look pretty much similar to this to duh. So we're gonna go ahead and do k. So let's go ahead, open up the mouth with proportional edit. I'm gonna make it so you kind of start seeing a bit of a pattern of what I'm doing to opening up the mouse. Pretty much, it's just use proportional edit, open mouse, use L key to select those vertices here, and then you just kind of just use a gizmo and move it around pretty much. So, cake. This time, instead of me making it frown, I mean, you could do it like cake if you like, but the way I say it, I have it where I'm kind of like smiling a little bit when I'm saying cake or cut. I guess it kind of depends, but yeah, whenever I just say k, I kind of smile a little bit, but you know, to whichever your preference is. So that way also it makes it differentiate, so duh, and then k, so you can make it just unique. And then we have ch. So ch is when your teeth are together and your lip is making like an O shape. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So ch, select the vertice, move it down, move this, and we're gonna go ahead. Actually, yeah, you don't need to really move the teeth, really. You just have to make it O shape because you're saying ch, ch. So, like chocolate cake, because I like chocolate. Alright, so there you go. Something like that. You can make it more O, but that's something you can do. Yeah. You can also, as well, if you want, you can make it where the lips kind of pucker out a bit more when you say ch. So don't forget to also worry about like the side profile, because focusing on the front is easy, but you also gotta remember, oh, you do have like the side view of the lip, so you might want to like take some time editing that. So just keep that in mind. You can also, by the way, if you want to like quickly view each of the shape keys real quick, you can also press this thumbtack button here to just kind of like quickly preview and use your arrow keys for up and down. Just kind of like see, and then you can go to edit mode and just slightly tweak the side profile so it's to your liking, if you prefer. But otherwise though, you know, again, you could do that to your own preference, but there you go. So now you have ch. And now we're gonna do the So I'm gonna go ahead here. So red. So it's not Japanese R. I keep pronouncing R as Japanese R, but no, it's English R. Red. So we're gonna do. And I know that I'm not doing this in order, by the way. It's because the way I typed it from memory in Blender. I did it a little differently, so please excuse that. But, so for red, so I have it where, like, I'm kind of making, like, a lip pucker, and I'm frowning a bit. So for this one, I'm going to open my mouth slightly, so select the lip here, move that down, move that a little upper, so then make this frown, whoops, so I'm gonna make this do a little bit of a lip pucker. Like that. And then I'll make it where the bottom teeth do move, you know, the bottom jaw move down. So, like that. Like so. And then, let's see. And then we have, s here. So this one, like sir, like a snake. So the way I pronounce, I have it where like it's kind of like a little bit like or not it's kind of like when I say the, when my tongue is in between my teeth, but when I say I mean, yeah. I guess it kind of depends how I say it, if I'm really emphasizing it, but yeah, it's pretty much about the same as the, but I guess it's also, but it's like I'm not frowning as much with the, cause I'm like kind of like, it's like the, but you're kind of smiling a bit, if that makes sense. So I'll show you that one. So since we have then so we're gonna go ahead and make the mouse open a bit more, like that. I'm gonna make it so that way the mouse kind of smiles a bit. So make it smile. And also, again, I'm just treating this as if it's asymmetrical, just so you kind of see how I handle like asymmetrical models, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm not using mirror mode. I'm just out of like, you know, just making sure, like, in case someone uses an asymmetrical model, they kind of see like, oh, this could also work with asymmetrical models. Anyways, so now that we have that one, the mouse shape here, the tongue will need to be between, so it needs to be in between the teeth. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the teeth down. I'm gonna go here to the model, L key, then, by the way, also C key, and then I click on the middle mouse button to like deselect, by the way, in case you were wondering that. Then I squish the tongue, put it in between the teeth, like so. So that's how I can do this, like that. You could, again, do some tweaking to kind of fix the transition a bit more, if you like. Like maybe making the teeth down a bit quicker or forward. If that kind of helps. But otherwise, though, you should be alright. Again, experiment, but there you go. Oh, that looks kind of cute, though. Aww. So, should look something like this, where the tongue is in between the teeth, and you're kind of smiling a bit. But you can also, as well, since I kind of stretch my mouth as well, you might also want to stretch the mouth a bit more like that. So, or maybe we'll make it a little less smiley, I guess. Okay, so, yeah, because I'm just kind of, like, saying the word while also doing it, just so, like, I have, like, when I'm feeling how my mouth shape is, I just kind of, like, picture it in my brain. That's what's happening. So, yeah. We can have it something like this, I guess. But again, it is your preference after all. You can make it where it frowns or smile instead, whichever. But this is something what you could do with Alright, so now we have if I want to say not, like, not you or anything like that. So I have it where, like, it's like my tongue is not between my teeth, but it's kind of like, it's against my teeth, but it's not in between, if that makes sense. So, for this one, not, or then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make it so, I'm gonna open up the mouse here, like this. Not, my mouse does frown a bit when I say that. Might want to also adjust the position of the mouse here, like so. Go back, check. So not, it's kind of like not. It could also be used for a lot as well. So I'll probably make it a little rounder of the mouse shape, but you can experiment. And then I'll have it where, like, it's like you can kind of see the tongue is bending a bit. I mean, this is probably more visible if you have, like, realistic shade or PBR shaders than a toon shader, really. But it's still nice to have that added detail, just why not? So you can go ahead here. I'm gonna do that. And just kind of have it something like that. That's how I feel with that, with when I say or no. Because again, it kind of just I guess it just kind of depends. Sometimes it's like I can say it where the my tongue is in between my teeth, and then sometimes it's not. So it's like it's kind of just a depend. But again, you just have to choose whichever is best, really, what you prefer. But you could just have that pretty much. But either way, you could have something like that, something, and yeah, so you can customize however you like, but that's something how should look like. And then these should be very kind of, if you've seen Void models, or I mean, if you already have a Void model, you should already have these already, but I'm still gonna show you how to make them from scratch, because why not? So these should be a little bit more explanatory to know. So A-U-L or A-I-U-L. They should, I believe they go by English ones, but I sometimes just say it as like Japanese. I don't know. Just have like I'm too used to how VRM does it. But either way, letter A. We're gonna make it go ah. All right. So go ahead and adjust here. So make that here. You can make that and then select the teeth here, and we're gonna make it lower. You might also want to go inside the mouse itself, whoops, and you might want to adjust, like, you know, so that way like the teeth can be able to like not clip as much. So you can adjust that. Adjust the inner part here. And just have something like simple, you know. You can even make it, if you really prefer, make it where the teeth just don't show up. But again, up to you, really. I'm just gonna make it, you know, something simple, like this. I can make it a little bit more higher, and then this a bit more lower. Oh yeah, and by the way, I should have also probably explained this too. You can also add chin movement if you like. I was pretty much focusing on the fact of the lip area, but if you want to add a little bit more dynamic movement to the character's lip sync, you can definitely, of course, add chin movement. Especially, like, again, just really depends on what you want in terms of mouth movement. If you prefer more expressiveness, you can. But if you prefer something a little bit more stiff-like, or if you kind of want it like how anime characters, you know, sometimes they, you know, for the most part, they don't really move their chin as much, then there's that. But even then, you don't have to add the chin movement to all of them. Like, for example, Puh, you don't really have to add chin movement. It's not necessary. So you can just add a little bit depending on the vibe theme, just to add some, you know, just depends. Okay. The yeah, it's like some of these I don't really have to add it, but there you go. You can add we're gonna go ahead and do E or I, which we can also just double check here. So wait, actually hold up. E O U. Okay, no, so these do go by kind of like how Japanese vowels are. A, U, E, O. Okay, best to just do that then. Alright, just making sure. I'm literally recording this real time. I do apologize if I make a little bit of oopsie doopsies mid-recording, but I just hope that this helps you. Anyways, though, I'm gonna go ahead then, just kind of like continue with how I usually rig A, U, E, O. So just do that. So E, make that like frown a bit. Or actually, no. Make that smile, actually. E. So, E, and then oo. So for oo, select that vertice, move it so it makes it U shape. I can see that asymmetricalness of Tesh-chan though. Why do you do this to me, Tesh-chan? Alright, so we make this a little higher. Make it a little bit more rounder. So, ooh, just trying to get that lip there. Select the teeth, L key, move it down. You can even move. I don't really recommend always moving the teeth up, but for how void teeth are, usually you would. So, ooh, might want to make that smaller. That's too big. I was trying to like do that one lip sync or one lip shape that some people like to do. So you want to make sure it's smaller and more squished together. Like that. Ooh. There you go. Ooh. You also may want to make it pucker on the side too, by the way. So, make it pucker. There you go. Ooh. And then we're gonna go ahead and do eh. Eh should be pretty much like I, but the mouth is like actually open, like the teeth are down. So L key there, and then tongue. Move that down. Want to probably move that a little higher. So eh. You can also like add some stretchiness to it too. Stretches out. Eh. Maybe also make the chin move a bit more too. There you go. Eh. Like that. And then there is O. So make that bigger, like that. And then let me squish this together. Then make it a little more bigger. I think it's fine. And then select the bottom teeth, tongue, move that, like so. Oh, like that. There you go. Something like that, or really depends on how you want to do it. But there you go. Probably just do it like that. There you go. Oh. Alright. And there you go. Oh yeah, keep in mind too, don't forget to fix the inner part. So let's say for example, if there's a mesh in the way, but like this is like a good placement, but the mesh is in the way to fix the inner mouth, press the H key to hide and then just edit your inner mouth area like that, and then do Alt H to like make it return. Again, we're still on proportional edit doing connected only. That's how I'm able to like do all this crazy stuff. So just remember that. I'll make sure to like quickly edit here, the inner mouth. Don't forget to do that. There you go. Then adjust that a bit more. Move that the back. Maybe move this a bit more down, but there you go. Alright. But otherwise though, there you go. That's pretty much in a nutshell how you would make your OVRLipSync blend shapes from complete scratch. So still you don't do anything, just leave it alone. If you want to add something you can, like a frown, but even then, I would best not touch it. It's like the neutral blend shape, like VRM, so no touchy. There's P, there's F, there's Z. Probably made that chin movement a little too low, actually. I want to move that a little up. There you go. So I should probably put this in the front. So there is Sil. There's P. There's F. There's Z. D. K. Ch. S. E. U. E. O. Kind of just, and again, it's not perfect. Like, could be a little bit better. But otherwise, though, at least in a nutshell, you kind of get the idea of what you can do. Honestly, with that top teeth could actually be hidden, actually. I don't know. I think it's just the teeth. Yeah, that's alright. Well, either way... Actually, no, I'll keep the teeth on, but still. Either way, you get the point, though. That's pretty much how you would make your OVRLipSync blend shapes. In a nutshell, that's pretty much how they would look like. But again, though, depending on your model and preference, you don't have to make them exactly what I did. But hopefully this will at least give you an idea of, like, how the reason why I do the OVRLipSync from scratch instead of using cats, and what you can do to add more emphasis. Because if you, like, have the thumbtack on and you're pressing based on the arrow keys like this, you can kind of get an idea of the kind of lip sync you may get. So again, it's kind of like a sort of like preview, not exactly, but you get the idea. You can have a lot more control and it can look pretty darn good. Now again, you can put in VRChat, you can put in your VTuber program of choice. Now keep in mind though, I will leave like a screenshot right here of like how you would like register, like how it would look like to register the OVRLipSync Blendshapes for VRM, by the way. Should be on screen. But just keep in mind though that for VRM, you will have to make sure that those blend shapes are registered. So VC Face, VNum, make sure those are registered so it can be detected. For VRChat, just make sure that with the I think it was a VRChat descriptor avatar thingy, that's where you have to like say what kind of lip sync you want, whether you want none, you want the blend shapes, or parameter for those with 2D OVRLipSync. Pretty much with that, like pretty much there, that's how you can be able to register the custom ones. So you can do that. And then if you're a Waterdo user, VRM, that's easy. You could just have it in the VRM file already. But if you're doing the SBX to Waterdo avatar, I will warn you. Well, actually, no. That will be for a different tutorial regarding those with it, like SBX. But you should be fine, honestly, just naming it like this, actually. Yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, you really don't have anything to worry about, honestly. But either way, I hope that this tutorial helps you out. Just making the blend shapes though, and like I mentioned from the screenshot earlier, that is how you would register for a VRM model. FBX, you just pretty much just have to have it like named something like this, but pretty much just have it exist. So for Waterdo users, you can be able to register it, custom, and you should be good to go, really. But other than that though, let me know if you have any other questions regarding how to make your OVRLipSync blend shape from scratch, though, and if needed, if I have to make like any OVRLipSync SDK tutorial for like VRChat or like how to register and stuff. Even though there are tutorials online already, just let me know if you ever need any assistance. But other than that, though, hope you have a lovely day, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye bye. Thank you to all my Snowflake members. In case you don't know, I have YouTube membership, so if you want to further support this channel and what I do, then feel free to join the Snowflake members. Otherwise though, just your support means so much to me, and I appreciate every ounce of it. Either way though, with that being said though, hey, goodbye everyone! I hope to see you guys next time, okay? Bye bye!